Hey everyone, Dustin here from Manifestation Academy. And what are 3 things you need to know when you're developing a new habit? I'm going to tell you them today. So, first thing, you decided you want to develop a new habit. You either got inspired by a book you read, a friend told you something, it's New Year's and time to set your resolutions. Something has inspired you to say, you know what, I want to make a change in my life. I want to add this new thing in my life, okay? What the problem is that many people do is they shoot for the moon right off the bat when trying to develop the new habit. So, for example, let's say they never exercise, and now all of a sudden they say, hey, you know what, I'm going to exercise every single day of the week, and I'm going to go out there and do it. Or they basically they go from like 0 to 7 or to 5 or make some huge leap. Like they're never doing anything, but now they're going to do it every single day. And that just becomes very unsustainable. Remember, with habits, you want to make the goal of a habit is to create it as to be part of your daily routine or your weekly routine or monthly routine, whatever it is, but be part of your normal ritual. Your goal with a habit is not to all of a sudden, let's take the example of exercise. Let's go from never working out to working out 7 times, for 1 week, maybe 2 weeks, maybe even up to a month you do it, and then you burn out and you can't keep it up, and then you stop, and then you say, oh, it wasn't worth it, forget it, I'm not able to do this is too hard, I just can't do it, it's not for me, blah, blah, blah. Doing all the mental stuff that your mind likes to do for you, right? So don't go so high so fast. In my experience, the more gradually you build in your habits, the more sustainable they're going to be, the more integrated they're going to be, the more they're going to stick with you. So that's what we're going to talk about today. 3 things to do it. For example, like brushing your teeth, right? Hopefully you do that at least once per day, maybe even twice per day, and it's just part of your habit. You don't even think about it. And that's what you want to do with your habits. You want to slowly integrate them into your lifestyle so they become a part of your lifestyle where you're not even consciously thinking about it anymore. You're just kind of doing it, right? Sometimes you might brush your teeth and not even know that you brushed your teeth because it's so integrated in part of your habit. You might just be daydreaming, and then you go and touch the toothbrush, like, okay, yeah, I did brush my teeth today. That's because it's part of your daily habit. It's so integrated. That's what we want to do with new habits that you add to your life, okay? So, 3 things to add a new habit to your life. First of all, number one is to define clearly, and write this down, why do you want to add the new habit into your life? What will it do for you? So, if it's exercising, what's it going to do for your health? It's going to give you more vitality, more energy. You're going to lose weight, you're going to get stronger, whatever it is, right? Write down those whys. And the key to the whys is finding that big why, that big driver that's like that must reason, that reason that says, yes, I must do it because of this reason, right? Some people wait till they're very reactive. They'll wait till they get cancer and then they say, okay, I'm going to stop smoking now, right? Or they get cancer and then I'm going to stop drinking or whatever it is, right? They're very reactive. But that becomes their big reason. All of a sudden they make a change because of a big why. So if you can consciously and proactively create that big why for yourself, it's going to make developing the habit a lot easier and a lot more inspiring and really push you to do it. So first of all, congratulations that you're developing the new habit, hopefully proactively, and really try to write down the reasons and find at least one. You just need one big why to do it. But write down all the reasons and then circle the biggest one, the one that's really going to push you, the one that's really going to drive you to do it. Second thing when developing a new habit, in my opinion, is to start small. So a lot of people, again, like I was saying earlier, they try to make these big leaps in habits. The purpose of the habit is not to be doing it for the next month. You want to be doing it 3 months from now, 6 months from now, 12 months from now, 3 years from now. The goal is sustained success. You want it to be part of who you are going forward. And rushing and trying to do it and trying to prove to yourself you could do it for a short period of time is not the solution. You're going to burn out, and most people don't keep the habit that way. You want to slowly build upon it. So what I recommend is that you look at, let's take exercise. How many times, let's say in the last 3 months, did you exercise per week on a weekly basis? Was it never? Was it once? Was it twice? take whatever your baseline was and let's make it a little bit better. Just move one notch up. So if you only exercise, let's say on average, once per week over the last 3 months. Maybe you don't know exactly, but you can approximate it because 3 months is pretty recent. If you're not sure of 3 months, look at the last month at least, right? Let's say you did once per week. Instead of jumping to 7 or 5, you're going to increase it to twice per week, right? If you can go from once per week to twice per week, that's going to be a huge improvement. It's not where you want to be yet, and that's fine. It's not where your desire is, but that's fine. But just make an incremental improvement. If you want to meditate, right, or you want to wake up early, let's say you're waking up every day 8 a.m. Don't go from 8 a.m. to 5 a.m. It's going to be too hard to do it. You want to start slowly. So if you're waking up every day at 8, let's go to 7:45, maybe even 7:30. And let's start there, right? And try to do that every single day. And then after that, you can go down further, maybe to 7, right? With the exercising, you're at twice per week. Afterwards, you can go up to 3 times per week. So incremental changes. I like to look at maybe 10%. Sometimes you can't do it like that, but whatever. But 10%. How can I get 10% better in this area for this next quarter? Or what's one little thing I can stack on and get better at it? And this leads into the third thing. The third factor is you want to track and measure it for the next 3 months. The next 3 months. I don't believe in setting New Year's resolutions. I don't believe in setting annual goals. I believe in setting quarterly goals, 3-month goals of what it is you want to accomplish in 3 months. A year is just too far away. It's too long. There's so much that can happen. Almost, at least recently, every single time I've tried to set a year goal, something completely comes in and disrupts it. It might be coronavirus completely disrupting it. It might be a job change. I have a goal for what I want in a job, and then everything shifts within the job, and I end up leaving and doing something else. So a year-long goal is way too hard, and it's so far out there, it hasn't come home yet. But a 3-month goal makes it real. Like in 3 months, you can see the end of the tunnel in 3 months, and it forces you to take action right here, right now, today, this week, this month, to get to that goal. So what I want you to do is track it. One of the reasons people don't accomplish their New Year's resolutions is because they write it down and they don't track it. They have no idea how they did. A lot of people don't even remember what their previous year's resolution was, right? How many times have you talked about with your family or friends at like a New Year's thing and saying, oh, what was our goal last year? And you just don't even remember. You don't remember other people's. You don't remember your own because you didn't really renew it. You didn't remember it. You didn't track it. So pick one habit and track it for the next 3 months and see how you do. You may or may not do it, and that's fine. Don't beat yourself up about it. You're going to do this on a week-to-week basis, ideally, or maybe it's a daily basis. But what you'll do is at the end of the week, you'll look at, and we'll take the exercise example. Again, let's say you had done one exercise per week before. Now you're going to do 2 per week, okay? So you're going to track it. At the end of the week, how many times did I exercise this week? Oh, I only did 1? Okay, that's fine. Don't beat yourself up about it. Let's look at the next week. How can I do 2? Maybe you pick the days and the times. It's a little bit more of an advanced tip for some people, but you schedule it. Okay, Monday and Wednesday in the morning, I'm going to go ahead and exercise on these days, right? You schedule it out, and then you commit to it, and then that's how you develop a new habit as you're going through. Okay, so those are the 3 key things to developing a new habit. Knowing why you want to develop the habit, setting an incremental goal, so getting a little bit better from where you were, and then tracking it. Now, some people will come in and they will, when they're set a new habit, they can go from like 0 to 7 and commit to it. That really takes, it's not normal. It takes either you're in a ton of pain or you really see a lot of pleasure to be able to do something like that and to commit to that. So that's really, really hard to do. I recommend you just start at incremental levels. It's more peaceful, it's more smooth, it's a more incremental, and it creates a more long-lasting transition to create that new habit. And what the fun part is you can create new habits every quarter. So if you exercised, you went up to 2 times per week, you tracked it, and you saw you're able to do it. Next quarter, you can do 3 times per week, right? Or you can add a completely new habit in a completely different area. Maybe you start meditating 5 minutes per day, right? If you've never meditated, start at 5 minutes per day, or 5 minutes per week if you want. And you slowly build it up. And then you do that for a few quarters. A year from now, look where you're at a year from now. compared to where you were before. If you go back to the exercise example, if you were at 1, the second quarter you're at 2 times per week, then 3 times per week, then 4 times per week. In a year, you're already consistently working at 4 times per week, and it's part of your daily routine. You don't even have to think about it. That, my friends, is a huge change. That is something 99% of the population won't ever be able to do and won't ever do, even if they're able to do it, they just may not do it. So that's going to create amazing changes in your life. And, it's our daily habits, our daily decisions, our daily rituals that really determine the outcome of our life, that have a compound effect over time that create results for us in our life. And also, it allows us to start to believe in ourselves more. It helps us create a disciplined mind. If you have the discipline to exercise consistently, you also have the discipline to do certain things with your job or career or your finances or relationships. It creates a stronger mind. It changes the way you think, which is a very, very powerful thing to do as well. Okay, so I hope this video helps you. If it does, please give us a thumbs up. Also hit the subscribe button. Also share this with a friend who needs to hear it. Thanks so much, and I'll talk to you in the next video.